Hello Internet, this is a Crazy Spider here doing a review of Portal 2. If you don't know what Portal is a first-person puzzle-solving game where you use a portal gun to place portals in the environment and teleport yourself through the environment in various ways in order to solve puzzles of different kinds. Portal 2 is an expansion of the original Portal, and I highly recommend if you do buy Portal 2 or play Portal 2 in any way, shape, or form, you're wanting to have completed Portal 1 first, because you're going to miss out on a lot of story elements if you haven't played the first one. And you should be able to get through the first one fairly quickly because it's only about 2 hours long. For Portal 2, it has been extended a very large amount. My first gameplay going through it took me about 6 to 8 hours. I didn't keep track because I got very immersed in the game, but I was probably closer to 7 overall, so I'm saying 68 because I'm not really sure. As I played through this game, I noticed they've made a lot of improvements, a lot of very good graphical improvements, especially at the very beginning when you have a lot of broken down scenery levels. There's also been a lot of new elements added, such as the laser, or discouragement beam as Portal likes to call it, which you use to aim at different places in order to turn on switches and things. There's the classic buttons that you press. There's also the classic pressure buttons, which you step on or put a box on and it activates the item it's connected to. Alright, as you go through Portal, you will notice some major vast improvements, not only with the new things you can interact with, but also the fact that it shows you the inside of the factory. There are times where before you got to see small little things, hints of how it actually worked, but now you get to see the panels and all sorts of crazy ways they're moving around and varying, which makes it awesome. It's so cool to see all this stuff happening, especially at the beginning. As you also play through, you also notice how, at the beginning, how in disrepair it is and how it changes throughout the game. You also, at the time, not to spoil anything, but you go down to an older part of Aperture Science where, at essentially the company's start. You go down there and you do tests similar to what you do at the beginning. They're a little bit different and have their own feel to it, and it's really cool. One of the cooler things you get to mess around with are the gels, which are, if you don't know, the repulsion gel, the speedy gel, I can't remember the actual name of it, and then the gel that allows you to place portals on it. The repulsion gel is a bouncy gel, which you bounce off of. The speed gel is exactly what you think, so you run really fast on it, and it's very useful for launching yourself into things. And then the other gel allows you to place portals wherever that gel is. All of these become very dynamic and extremely important when you're playing the game. It allows you to do lots of really cool things. It's really hard to talk about Portal 2 and not give away any spoilers of any sort. I can tell you a few things, though, in the fact that the voice acting was superb. I loved it. I couldn't have imagined doing it much better. Ellen McLain came back as GLaDOS. If you played the first game, you'll know she did a wonderful job back in Portal 1. Also, J.K. Simmons is playing the old CEO, which you do get to hear a little bit about through some of his recordings. And Stephen Merchant made the game. I'm not going to tell you about his character or who he plays. You'll find out if you play the games yourself. But he made the game in the sense that he did an amazing job at voicing his character, made that character come to life more than you could have ever imagined. And that is one of the greatest things I love about this game, is it honestly made you be there, even as you are the silent hero, which you often are in many Valve games. Other things I'd like to talk about here is how well just the game plays. It is so smooth, so fluid, especially if you had ever played Portal before. Someone who's new and has never played Portal before is definitely going to have some issues. It's not as long of a tutorial as it was in the initial one, which was a very large portion of the game was basically tutorial, whereas in this one, the tutorial is fairly short, and especially if you had ever played it before, you can go through it real quick right away. Now, as I have to say there are some negatives to this game. Unfortunately, I'm really kind of upset they got rid of those challenge runs that they had back in Portal 1, where you got to attempt a level trying to use the fewest amount of portals possible, or the fastest possible, or the fewest steps. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, but I can't find it in here. If they do exist, I'd love to try them. Although, they did give you co-op. Co-op is awesome. It is one of those things, you work with people, you do things, and it's just so entertaining to do, because you have to work with someone, and you both have portal guns, and you can do crazy shenanigans, and fly all over the place, and run into each other, and die, and it's just really fun. And it's just one of those games that is so much fun to play. I recommend buying this game. It is an amazing game. I'm not going to say the best game I ever played, but definitely one of the best games that came out this year. Alright, so if I had to come down and bring a final rating to this game, I'd have to give it a 9.5 out of 10. This was an amazing game, had amazing game dynamics, fluid, the visuals were stunning, they made such great improvements, made everything feel so realistic and vivid, and the environment even changed, which you didn't think could really happen in Portal, but that was what really made the game, is you never felt stationary, you felt like the world was changing and adapting around you, which was just awesome. The only negatives I can really point out in this game is that they removed a couple things here and there, but they kept almost everything you could have possibly wanted, and I love this game to death. The co-op is a lot of fun, and if you do plan on buying a puzzle game of any sort, and you like puzzle games, buy Portal 2. It is an amazing game, and you will love it. I also recommend playing the first one first, which is also very much worth your money. You can probably buy it on Steam or somewhere for $20 or less. I guarantee you can find a cheap copy somewhere. Alright, if you are not planning on buying this game, the way I look at it is if you don't like puzzle games and you don't like getting frustrated at all, you like playing a game that you can go through simply without having to deal with it or worry about it at all, yeah, you should probably go buy Call of Duty, because you can get through that game no problem, easy streak, especially if you're playing on a lower difficulty. Alright, this is one of my favorite games. I'm going to be playing it for years to come, guaranteed. I'm still probably going to play the original Portal as well. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed this review of mine. This is a Crazy Spider. And if you want to, please leave a comment, question, give me a message, anything you want. If you want me to review a different game, talk about a different game, something new coming up in video games, or I'll be possibly putting out a new action type video soon. I've recorded it and working on the special effects. So we'll see how that goes. If you enjoy what I do, please subscribe, leave a comment, do what everything everyone else says. I'm not going to beg for it. Honestly, only subscribe if you like what I do. And thank you for watching this video. I will keep making videos if you guys like them. I love playing games. I love talking about games. Alright, this is a Crazy Spider. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Bye.